let me get it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Roger, you live at the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
What's going on? Welcome back to Wrestling with Savage. I'm here with Jay again. We are continuing the night with more wrestling. We're going to get right into Double or Nothing 2022 results coming at you live. I hope you guys are ready for some action-packed results because Double or Nothing delivered in a lot of ways. Again, this is Wrestling with Savage, episode 30, Double or Nothing. Jay, did you enjoy Double or Nothing? Was it too long for you, or was it just the right amount of pro wrestling?
It was a long show, but like I told you, like I told Dave, everybody thought I was crazy.
Oh, no, let's not get into that yet. Let's not get into that yet.
But as you can see, my prediction is always right. So
no, it's not because
I think I won people a lot of money out there. So you're welcome, everybody.
No.
You're welcome.
Not all your predictions are always right.
You're welcome.
You get some wrong sometimes.
You're welcome.
The first match of the night was Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. The match starts off with Tony and Danhausen. They both were getting abused for a little bit. Danhausen was taking some abuse from, Tony pretty hard. It was a few minutes of this, hitting him with some nice shots and moves. Tony working hard to keep Hook out of the ring. Danhausen working hard to catch some silly spills that have no effect on Tony, but work well on Mark. Danhausen finally connects with a pretty good-looking Northern Light suplex that Hook must have taught him. He gets the tag, and Hook comes in, cleans house, suplex after suplex, making quick work of Tony and Mark anytime they try to do anything. We get his signature ton and a walk around the ring. Hook cuts the throat of Mark and points to Danhausen and tags him in. Danhausen, now in the ring, goes for the pin in the pose, gets the 1, 2, 3, and Hookhausen is victorious. They get the win in a very silly finish. I gave this a 2.5 star. Could have been a better match if it would have went a little longer, and if we would have saw more of, Hook and Danhausen and Tony, who can wrestle his ass off. Jay, what are your thoughts on this one?
No rating for me. It's just a clown show. I'd rather just watch a reality TV show or something. This match was unnecessary, but it happened. The best part was that it was over less than 5, so no rating.
All right. Well, then Double or Nothing starts. That was the pre-roll match of the night, I guess. What was it called? The buy-in match? the show before the show.
It's
Double
sad that it wasn't never... What's sad is that there was some matches on the card that I thought should not be, and this should have been at least on the card, at least get a little pay. Yeah,
well, I'm sure they still got taken care of for what they are right now, which is mids. All these guys are mids. Nobody's certified champion kind of guy as of yet. Next, we get into the opening match of the night, and before we get into the opening match of the night, I'm going to comment on a couple of things that have been going around the internet for the last few days. Everybody seems to have a theory on what's going on with MJF and AEW. Well, I'm glad you all have your theories. Now, do me a favor. Take your theory, shine it up real nice, and turn that bitch sideways and shove it straight up all your candy asses. Because here's the reality of the situation. MJF is an employee. Tony is an employer. They have a great relationship, and they have a great storyline going that they are both trying very hard to portray an image of hate. I hate you, you hate me. It has a reminiscent idea of one of the other greatest storylines ever told on TV. Employee versus employer. Ring a bell? No? Stone Cold, Vince McMahon? Who knows? I hope this doesn't lead to Tony Khan getting in the ring, but I do believe this whole thing, it's all a giant fucking work. MJF, yes, is going to have a contract war when his contract ends up, but until then, he is a very happy employee of All Elite Wrestling. He loves Tony Khan. He listens to Tony Khan, and you wouldn't give a guy like MJF all this ring time. I mean, yes, he is bringing in the ratings, but when you give someone that kind of ring time and they have talent like he has, he's getting treated well. He's getting taken care of well. Behind closed doors, those guys are super fucking tight, and Tony is strategically making this guy the future of the business piece by piece. Whether you want to admit it Realize it or not, I'm glad all you guys are out there eating this shit up, really believing in all the rumors and all the stories and all the this and that, man. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. You all thought MJF really wasn't going to show up for his fucking match against Wardlow. Yes, he did leave the building immediately. But that just adds more heat on everything, man. He left in a fucking stretcher. He's not coming back anytime soon. We have MJF versus Wardlow, a match 2.5 years in the making. Wardlow gets his entrance. The whole fucking arena screaming again. This time he comes out of a jail cell that's into the arena where they put people that misbehave during the night at the Vegas arena. He comes out looking like an inmate being released. The whole crowd's chanting Wardlow. They're just, they're ready to see MJF get eaten alive. MJF begins the match by running away multiple times, playing mind games big time with Wardlow. There were some great heel spots and counters trying to build up the beatdown because you know it's coming. Fans chanting, fuck you, MJF. He tries to use the Dynamite ring, gets caught by the referee. MJF says, I'll double your pay, I'll quadruple your pay. Wardlow shakes his hand, doesn't let go, gets off his first powerbomb. 4 more power bombs, and then he goes for the pin. Let's go after the 2 count. Now we're at 7 power bombs, including the triple at the end. And then another power bomb, and another power bomb, and another power bomb. And then we get the end pin, the Hulkamania pose, and the win for Wardlow. Honestly, in all honesty, this match should have been more of a wrestling match. We should have seen more out of MJF. We should have seen him show his true wrestling ability and almost beat Wardlow. Not beat Wardlow, but almost beat Wardlow. Showing us that he's still strong. He may be this, he may be that, but the man can put up a fight. Instead, you just have him get completely fucking squashed. It does its job because you created a superstar in Wardlow now. I see where you're going with that, Tony, and I do like it. But I think that you could have still did that while maintaining MJF's wrestling integrity. Tony has the sign up, says Wardlow is all elite. I gave this whole thing a 4-star because MJF still had his good heel work in the ring, running away, building up the beatdown, and it did make Wardlow look like an absolute fucking superstar. What do you think on this one, Jay?
Let's see. I'm very disappointed. I'm very upset. I think Tony Khan is a stupid idiot. I don't think he's a genius, as you mentioned. I still think he's the worst booker. I'll pick McMahon any day of the week. Hell, give me Shawn Michaels. Very disappointed. I don't believe this is just a work, as you mentioned, to a reference in the Attitude Era. There's definitely some tension. You could see it when he came out. You could see that he wasn't greeting fans at the Fan Fest, which I'm sure a lot of people would be pissed off. If I was one of them,
fucking work too.
I'd be pissed at... Hold on. That's your opinion. Mine is different. I do feel there is tension, but I would never doubt that he would leave. That never crossed my mind one bit. But there's definitely is some tension. If people thought there was tension because the way this match was a squash match, you're entirely wrong. This match served its purpose. This match was going to be like this. We could all tell throughout all the promos we heard the last month. It was set up like this, which is why it's a 3-star for me, because the whole point of this was to make a star, and we just seen it in Wardlow. So I'm not going to trash it. I'm just very, very disappointed at how it went down. I expected at least a few wrestling moves, not just to poke to the eyes. But we saw what we saw. I knew it was going to go to the 10 to the reference to Shawn Spears. Overall, I mean, now it's rumored we're not going to see MJF on TV for a while. Is it a smart move? Not entirely sure. We could take a look at how this pay-per-view went, which I heard it was a success. It was made over $1 million, so that's great. But overall, I'm a little worried about the future how are they going to utilize MJF? I honestly, this is the first time I would have to say I do not know where he goes from here. Who does he go after next? So, 3 stars, but just a lot of question marks all around.
Well, he's definitely going to come back and probably ruin Wardlow's life in some fashion. I can see him coming back. He's going to win the Dynamite ring again somehow. They're going to have that tournament again. MJF's got a bright fucking future ahead of him. Because, in my opinion, like I said, I don't think Tony's a fucking genius when it comes to everything. Not even close. He's a fucking complete idiot on a lot of shit.
He's a fanboy. He's just a fanboy.
I will give him credit. I appreciate the time he has taken to really... you got to look at it like this. He is a fanboy, so he's opening a company. He's starting a stable. And he's saying, I'm going to need a guy that's going to be like my Ric Flair. You know what I mean? He needs a guy that's going to be his Ric Flair. His limo riding, kiss stealing, flying, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. Who's going to be his Flair? And I know maybe it doesn't look like that way right now, but in my opinion, it's a very meticulous way to have a wrestler show up the way MJF shows up over the last 3 years, does the storylines he did, from the dancing he did with Jericho to the matches he had with CM Punk, the promo we saw live at Long Island. MJF is magical on the mic, and I think he's also magical in the ring, and I can't wait to see more of it. I think he has a bright future. I think he's a future Hall of Famer. I think he's a multiple-time world champion when this is all said and done in AEW and WWE. I think his future is brighter than anyone could ever fucking imagine, and there's nothing that can change that except him. If he gets hurt or, whatever. As long as MJF stays healthy, he's got one of the brightest futures in business right now. So you don't have to worry about him. I promise you that. MJF is a fucking star. And so is Wardlow. And that's what this match was about. You're right. They wanted to make him look like a star. I just would have liked to see just a little more wrestling from MJF to not make him look like a complete piece of shit, because it's hard to sell to me that MJF's going to come back and beat Wardlow now a little more because of the way he got pounded out. But like you said, that's the way it was going to go all along. We knew it. You knew it. And that's what happened, man. After this, we move on to the next match, which was surprisingly pretty entertaining. We had the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys. The Bucks came dressed up as Elvis Presley. They had a nice vignette with a new song called Viva La Super Kick. I thought this was a nice touch. And it was performed by a pretty decent Elvis impersonator. The Bucks come in, they get their pop. We also had Caprice Coleman on the commentary team tonight for this match. We started off with a, traditional wrestling, holds, lockups. The high spots came in hot, lots of flying spots, some tough bumps on the floor. Jeff taking nasty bumps as usual. After some abuse to Matt Hardy, he dodges the knee to the head and the Bucks hit each other. And this causes the momentum to switch back to the Hardys. Jeff was missing from the corner of this match for a while. Bucks hit a BT trigger, both knees. Then they end up connecting with the 2 super kicks to Jeff and Matt. They both looked up very well. They connected with rapid-fire kicks to the heads of Matt and Jeff Hardy. Just kicking the shit out of them. Matt was asking for more. Just non-stop kicks to the head. Those all actually looked really good. Matt almost daring them to keep kicking. Matt spits at the Bucks. And then we get the super double kicks. And this looked good, Both to the heads of the Hardys. We get a double pin and a double kick out. It's not finished yet, but now the Bucks setting up the stairs sideways. They are laying Jeff on top of it, and Matt with another fucking super BT bomb, as the masked man said. It looked like a razor's edge into a high power bomb kind of pin attempt thing. And then now the Hardys were setting up Matt Jackson on those same stairs. Matt goes to the top rope and connects with Jeff goes to the top rope and connects with the senton bomb off the top rope to the steel steps on the side. Matt with a twist of fate on Nick Jackson. That swanton was also stiff as fuck. Props to Jeff on another solid fucking bump. We have a twist of fate and a senton from Jeff, and the Hardys win this dream match. For some people, this was a dream match. Not for me, not a dream match for me. In my opinion, this match was like 5 or 6 years too late. But at the end of the day, it was still a pretty solid performance. Hello? What happened?
Video malfunction.
Good. What do you think, Jay? What did you think of the match?
Like I said, I'm not even sure what you said the last minute or so.
Well, it doesn't matter what I said the last minute or so. Just what do you think about the match? What are you grading it? I gave it a 4.5. I liked the match. I thought it was fun. I thought all the guys did a pretty good job.
Oh, wow. Then I'm going to have to come very, very with it then if you said that. I have Twitter. I don't know if everybody out there has Twitter that's watching the show. If you thought this was a wrestling match, this was an embarrassment to professional wrestling. This was an embarrassment to all the legends that have passed, to the legends that we have now. This is truly the end of Matt, but personally Jeff Hardy. We've seen it in this match on live TV, but we actually seen this during the Darby Allin match. So let's not forget, this is not the first time, but this was the most embarrassing out of all of them. What is that he usually, I'm asking you this question, does he use a white towel on the back of his jeans, or is that a t-shirt that he has as a knot? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's a t-shirt.
Okay, because he had the t-shirt throughout the entire match. I would say the first 10, 15 minutes. I guess he realized it when he was on the mat and Nick was doing a submission hold, and he realized that he had the stupid t-shirt on and he threw it. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I sure as hell was waiting to see when the hell is he going to take this off, because he usually doesn't. He didn't look like he was there. I don't know if you caught when he was trying to do the whisper in the wind. He lost his footing very slowly to get up, even to do the whisper in the wind. You could just tell Nick is just waiting there for I don't know how many seconds. That looked really bad. Jeff looked out of breath. There was a part, you said it yourself, he was missing most of the match. He wasn't missing. He was in front of our television on the corner turnbuckle sitting down, because I had a feeling he was really, really hurt from the outside. I think that Swanton from the steel step kind of took it out of him, because he was never the same after that. Yeah. He kept wandering around the ring, and then on top of that, he came in the corner turnbuckle, actually sat there, literally. Very out of it, very embarrassing, old as fuck. I don't know what else to say. I mean, the cool thing was the Young Bucks did the finisher, the twist of fate into the Swanton. I thought that was a nice 2 count for a big pop. Double super kicks, Hardys, when they were spitting at them. Young Bucks did the double super kicks on both of them. That was good, but overall, I give this match no rating. This was just horrible. This was an embarrassment to professional wrestling. Matt Hardy tried to do everything in his power to basically be the only Hardy to say. I would actually say Matt Hardy really tried to save this. And he didn't look as old as I thought he would. But what the hell, Jeff Hardy? What did we just witness tonight? And if you don't have Twitter, Twitter was just blowing up in this match. And it was mostly Jeff Hardy getting the crap, and this is just what we saw. This should be literally the last Hardy match we ever see in AEW. No rating.
Well, I don't disagree with you that this should be the last Hardy match we probably see on AEW, but I do disagree with you that it's what you said. It was all these different things about it being the most embarrassing thing or an embarrassment to this or that. I think this match... Well, let me speak now. I think this match surpassed its expectations, and I only gave it a 4.5 because actually, for a little bit, I just was enjoying the show so much at the time, and I was just giving love to all the wrestlers. So when I was watching it, I was probably in a more biased state of mind. And I just appreciated the level of effort from everybody. We've seen way bigger mistakes from Jeff over the last month, 2 months. So, for what it was and how it got built up, I thought the Bucks were finally delivering nice kicks. And the Hardys were taking it. And they tried their fucking absolute best, man. They were both fucking old. Jeff got fucked up.
You gotta stop being a Hardy fan. Stop being a Hardy fan.
Hold on.
Stop.
Hold on.
Just stop.
Are you going to let me talk? I didn't interrupt you when you talked, right? I said
Do
one
a few
word.
times.
No, not tonight though.
The last episode.
Well, now you're still interrupting me though. Like I said, the Hardys, they're old, man. You know it. I know it. They're not going to perform like they used to perform. But for what their age is and what their capabilities and limits are, I thought they still put up a fun match tonight, and they made some kids' dreams come true. Because whatever, maybe not our dreams, but somebody else's dreams. They wanted to see this match happen, and of course the Young Bucks probably wanted to see this match happen more than anybody. So they got their little wish. This match obviously comes 10 years too late, but what are you gonna do? After that, we get into a match with Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Both women lock up. Jade pushes Anna in the corner, showing her strength. Anna with a boot to the face. Some good counters from Anna. But Jade catches the fallaway slam and the kick up very well. Snap suplex, another kick up, and a big clothesline driving Anna down to the mat. Jade to the second rope, hits a double axe handle smash to the head very well. Very classic wrestling. I like it. Anna screaming, dropping Jade to one knee. This was terrible. They really botched the clothesline on the apron and an even shittier heel kick. Big botch on the blockbuster from Anna Jay. That shit was just straight up bad. Kiera Hogan, Red Velvet come out. Anna catches a double DDT on both ladies as she rolls back in the ring. Jade kicked the shit out of Anna if you caught this part. It looked like she was pissed at her from all those botches, and she looked like she was tired. If you guys want, go back on YouTube, find this clip, go on my TikTok page. I'll have a whole video on it. But Jade does this like super fucking taekwondo jumping front kick. Just kicks the shit out of Anna. Went for the finish. Anna just tripped up. Smart Mark Sterling coming to the corner of Jade. Oh man, this. I'm gonna finish reading it. It's all right. Anna was just tripped up. This whole thing was bad. It was just really bad. She was limping. She had the crutch. There was distracting going on. Anna grabs the crutch. Anna hits the Russian leg sweep with a crutch, but Jade able to kick out. Now John Silver comes out, hits the brain buster on the apron to Smart Mark. Back in the ring, Jade hits the Eye of the Storm, but Anna was able to survive and kick out. Jade quickly picks her up and goes for another move. Anna hits a great counter. Jade gets in the sleeper hold. Now Jade standing up. She's been able to survive the Queen Slayer, but Jade backs her in the corner and escapes. Now Jade being pushed to her limit. Anna going to the top rope again. Jade stops her elbows. There's elbows to the back. We get another 4 fucking elbow shots. Stokely then comes out. I guess Stokely, whatever. I don't even know this guy that well. I know his name though. Stokely comes out to the ring. Jade finally gets the Jaded Avalanche on Anna. Jay picks up the win. The baddies were trying to pick on Anna Jay, but then Statlander comes out to help. We have a standoff there. Ember Moon then makes her fucking debut. She's being called the Fallen Goddess Athena. Nice debut. It was surprising. I wasn't expecting it. Nothing crazy. She gets in the ring, gets right in the face of Jade. Now we have a sign of things to come. Anna Jay, Statlander, and Ember Moon, whatever you want to call it, Fallen Angel, face off with the baddies. Jade with the hand in the Fallen Goddess's face, and she's just laughing it off. Some good spots, but otherwise a botch fest for the ages. Half a star. What did you think, Jay?
So yeah, this is another no star for me. So there was a horrible heel kick by Anna Jay while she was on the ring apron. It was slow. It was horrible. No effect. Horrible blockbuster by Anna Jade. I didn't like the top rope sledgehammer by Jade. Looked ugly as hell.
I liked it just because it's pro wrestling.
Anna Jay is just slow overall in the ring. She can't even run the ropes. She can't even run the ropes right. This match didn't deliver like I figured it wouldn't. You could tell Anna Jay was picking up momentum. There was some nice moves towards the end, but overall, it was just too late. Now, this is why I don't rate it. I don't like how there's 2 debuts. It kind of reminds me of last year with the whole Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson debuts. I think it was unnecessary to put Athena there. You could have saved her for Wednesday. You could have saved her for a better segment. I like Stokely. I think it made sense once Sterling gets knocked down that you just have Stokely come out. I think he's a great hire, a.k.a. Michael Bivens, a.k.a. basically the whole manager of Diamond Mine. So he does have skills. I like the signing. I don't like the signing of Athena. I just think she's old and played out. That's just me. We kind of see it in her matches that she had once she left WWE. There's really nothing exciting. I know everybody likes a stunner here and there, including yourself, but it's really nothing exciting about this. And I would have saved her debut. I don't think it was a strong debut. I thought it was very weak. I would have saved her for Dynamite and at least make it more better, especially when you have a new mouthpiece like Stokely speaking in a promo and then he gets interrupted by a fallen goddess. Now that would be great TV, but unfortunately they just ruined it here. No rating. Basically, Anna Jay is just not the person to go against Jade, and Jade tried to sell so much and it just failed here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that the debut could have been a hell of a lot better. It was just still a surprise because I wasn't expecting it, so I guess that was cool just for that. But yeah, 100% could have been done better. They could have made that whole thing better. After this, we get the match with Death Triangle versus House of Black, and I was looking forward to this match. Nice entrance for everyone. This should be an instant classic. Rey Fenix and Malachi Black start off the match with lots of classic wrestling and chain counters. There was a nice walk of the ring. Black's face makeup was very well done, very detailed tonight. Both men have a stalemate moment, taking a seat in the ring. Rey Fenix and Malachi Black just both sitting down in the ring, face off, stare off. They were starting to taunt each other. Black and Murphy, we get a tag from Black. Murphy gets in the ring and takes control over Rey, causing a tag to Penta and a nice taunt from Buddy, giving Penta the Zero Nero. Huge thrust kick by Penta and Hurricane Rana sending them to the outside. Now Penta meets up with him, gets back in the ring, gets revenge on the taunt. Pac now comes into the ring, meets up with Brody King, immediately making his presence known with the heavy hands and a heavy chop from, not Brody King, I'm sorry. What's this piece of shit's name? Because this guy botched up tonight pretty bad. Brody King? No. What's his name?
Brody. His name is Brody.
I can't believe it. Like, it's so disrespectful.
It's Brody.
I feel weird even calling him Brody, though. You know what I mean?
It's always been since.
I know, you're right. You're right. But it's still weird to me. I got to get used to it. Because I love Brody. The real Brody. Brody Lee.
Just with a Y, so.
Ah, man. All right. He makes his presence known. He comes in heavy hands. Then we get all the 6 men in the ring. They were having a standoff. Big brawl ensues. Brody misses a clothesline by tripping Rey with a nice arm drag off the top rope, leading into a nice stop. We got a nice sling blade by Penta, and Buddy then catches the Meteora. Pac now in the ring. Pac takes Buddy to school with a lariat, and that poison drop was sick. Fans chanting AEW. Big Boss Man slam from King to Pac. Another hard chop to Pac and a tag into for Black. Headlock at this point in the match makes the spot calling from Black and Pac look way too obvious. I didn't like that shit. They should have did another way to call that spot. It just looked too obvious. The cameraman needs to do a better job. Buddy with a nice over-the-top rope senton showing his flawless agility. Another tag to King, who comes in. We get a big splash to Pac and a running cannonball, but Pac dodges. Rey and Penta catch nice kicks to Murphy, but mess up on the third one. We have a double over-the-top rope dive from Penta and Rey, leaving King in the ring with all 3 members of Death Triangle there. We have a triple threat finish about to come up with the pin, but the big guy kicks them all off. Nice kick to the face from King, from Rey to King, and then we get a jump off his knee. We get a bunch of other shit coming up. Suplexes to the mat. Pac catches an attack on Buddy, and then the cannonball spot. That's what I really wanted to talk about. We got a cannonball spot from Brody King over here that he jumped out the ring and literally landed on the fucking canvas. He couldn't jump high enough to get completely over the top rope onto the apron, is where he went. And he could have got really hurt right there, man. It was a pretty bad botch. I thought that was like the botch of the night from everything I saw. It was really bad. He tries to make up for it with a huge pile driver with Buddy tossing Rey into King's arms. So, like, it was a throwing pile driver, man. You know, Buddy just tosses Rey right into King's arms. He catches him. Bah! Pile driver. That looks sick. But that botch attempt, that cannonball was so fucking bad. We get a pin attempt that was broken up. All 6 men in the ring again. A lot of action everywhere. Hustle Black goes for the triple suplex. Death Triangle counters. We get a good super kick party. Triple kick to Brody King, and now Pac going to work. We got a nasty brainbuster. We got a breakup by Murphy. Insane spot with Penta and Ray on the apron. This was my favorite spot in the match. Penta jumping off Ray's back and catching the Canadian Destroyer. That shit was nasty. This was all nasty towards the end. Lots of big spots. Now Death Triangle has Black surrounded in the ring. Black screams, come on. We get a big triple kick to his head. Zero Nero. Black counters. Black mass to Ray. Penta misses. Black mass to Pac. Pac steps up with Insiguri. Goes for the finish off the top. Buddy comes in. Interferes. Nice German to Buddy. Black awaiting Pac with another German to Black. Pac now going to the top rope after a great kick to Black. And then the lights go all out. Everything goes black. We come back with light. Julia Hart with a black mist in the eyes of Pac. Malachi with a black mass on Pac and the win. I would have given this a 5-star if it wasn't the botch from Brody King, man. This was a good match. 4-star because of that botch. What do you say?
You know, I try to give this trio's House of Black, Death Triangle, because you guys like it. And people out there like I try to give it, but this just proves it right here that all these players are just trash. How do I start? So Matthew gets the tag first time. Was supposed to stomp Ray's arm because we've been working on Ray's arm, and instead he misses the whole arm of Ray by about 3 feet away. Nobody caught that because he sold it with his slap. I guess you didn't catch it either. I caught it. That was a big botch right there. I like Brody when he did the Boss Man Slam. I thought that was a good homage. That was a good spot too. Excalibur was not even in this match. Messed up as well. There was basically a part that he said Ray Phoenix is waiting to get revenge on Death Triangle. Makes no fucking sense right there. Brody did the horrible moonsault, as you mentioned, but his back hit the ring apron because he didn't jump, as you say, too high. So you could just kind of tell that was really bad botch, and that looked like that really hurt. Mm-hmm. Ray had another botch as well. Let's not forget the stomp that he was supposed to get Brody on the outside, but just hit nothing. That's horrible as well. Overall, it was just complete sloppiness. I don't know if Matthews was nervous because of his first pay-per-view here, but it was just sloppiness all across the board. Even with Malachi Black, there was nothing really good in this match. I give it half a star just for an effort, but there was nothing I really liked that I saw. I thought Pac did a good move with the reverse Hurricanrana followed by the clothesline on Matthews. You talked about the Canadian Destroyer, but overall, it's just high spots that we expect from Penta and Ray. I'm kind of sick of it, and it didn't save this match because it was just a bunch of botches left and right, including commentary. So half a star.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm fucking shocked that this match doesn't entertain you. Yeah, it's spot-filled and the story isn't really good, but Buddy Murphy, Malachi Black,
Matthews,
Penta, well, whatever. I like Buddy Murphy, but okay, Buddy Matthews, Penta, Ray, Pac, they're all... I'm not even going to say Brody King. He's not in this list, but those 5 guys are all good fucking workers, and they've brought us a lot of good matches over the years. So, I mean, I had fun with the match. That botch really messed it up for me, so I can't give it a perfect rating. But I thought there was at least 4 stars in the match. Like, you know, I saw some good spots. I missed some of the mistakes that you pointed out because when you have these 6-man matches, I'm going to see something that you didn't see, and you're going to see something that I didn't see. Because there's so much shit going on, our eyes are always looking somewhere. So I definitely...
You can hear it, too.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't pick up. The commentary fucks up, and they don't pick up every move. Sometimes they don't say the names of moves. The commentary, they make mistakes just like the wrestlers do sometimes.
They messed up.
Just like we do sometimes. We all make mistakes. We're only human beings. We're not fucking perfect. And neither are these guys. So that's why we had the botch from Brody King. I had fun with the match. Moving on, we have another match. Maybe the match of the night. Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe for the Owen Hart Cup. Men lock up. Some classic wrestling starts off. Joe starts quick with his striking to show his power immediately. Tries to take control of this match. We get a huge chop to Cole. Adam is now reeling from another chop from Joe. We get a headbutt instead. Adam sent in the corner and a huge kick to the head from Joe. Adam on the mat breathing heavily already. Joe now lifts him up and hits the nasty European uppercut. Violent strikes follow. Adam tries to get off some offense and Joe planting him cold with a massive elbow, sending him rolling out of the ring. Now outside, Joe with another huge chop. Joe backs to the other side of the ring, comes in for a running attack, and Cole catches the super kick and now rams Joe into the ring apron. Great strategy by Adam Cole, finally trying to get some offense going. Now sending Joe into the steel post. Adam rolls in and back to the outside to re-grab the count. Adam grabs Joe and sends him into the ring, where Cole will now mount him, catch a few cross faces across Joe. Tries to catch him across that injured shoulder. Really trying to work the injury, work the shoulder. You know, pro wrestling. That's what we're doing. This isn't sports entertainment segment of the show. This is the pro wrestling show. Adam applying pressure to Joe's injury. And this is pretty much his only shot to keep Joe down. The men exchange shots. Joe with some big chops. And Adam gets a nice toe kick to Joe's arm, sending him down, and Adam Cole now trying to get a basic wrist lock going. JR says this is an honor to call this match, and he thinks about every day he thinks about Owen Hart. Every day. Adam goes for a Panama Sunrise, and Joe sends the knees of Adam Cole smashing into the mat. Joe goes to grab Cole, and Adam hits the standing enziguri from the outside of the ring. Adam comes back in to attack Joe, and Joe catches the STO, planting Cole and buying some time to recover. Just now, back to the shots. He sends Cole into the ropes. We get a very nice classic Manhattan drop and a high counter with a kick to the back. He goes for a running knee. Joe turns this into a power clothesline. Another near fall for Joe. Very nasty bump that Cole took. He got turned inside out, landed on the back of his neck and the back of his head absolutely from that clothesline. High knee kick for Cole to Joe. Cole with nice shots and a backstabber to Joe. Another kick out from Joe. Cole now plants the crossface, and Joe was working that shoulder. You know, Cole was working that shoulder, telling Joe to give up. Joe intercepts the super kick, turns it into a powerbomb, then applies the STF on Cole. Bobby Fish comes out, tries to snap Joe's arm. Actually, no, he actually does snap Joe's arm on the ropes. Joe applies the sleeper, then Kyle O'Reilly comes in, making Joe break the sleeper. He chops Cole down. Cole now with some big kicks to Joe's shoulder and arm and drops the boom on the back of Joe's head and picks up the big time win to become your Owen Hart Cup debut champion. Well played, well set up match, great storytelling, great heel work by this faction to secure the win in what I thought was the first 5-star match of the night. I loved it. I loved it. Did you love it, Jay?
Not as much as you, but
okay.
When I saw this live, I lost the feed halfway during this match, so I had to actually rewatch it afterwards just to see. But when I rewatched it looks like I didn't really miss nothing. It was just a bunch of chops, forearm shots, and some basically wrestling match between a babyface and a heel. Traditional Cole working on the left shoulder, as you mentioned, and Joe coming back from it. Overall, it was a good wrestling match. I don't think it was a great wrestling match because we didn't really see a lot of wrestling maneuvers in that match, if you really think about it. Powerbomb to the STF, I get that, but it was really just us telling a story of, I'm going to work on Cole's shoulder because last week it was really damaged, and that's the story that was told. Adam Cole ring gear was great. I thought the white and pink was good. But overall, I just don't like matches like this. Like I said, I think this was just a wet dream on both guys' bucket list to just wrestle each other because this was the first time. But I'm going to give it just 3.5 for me.
Okay. That's still higher rating than anything else you gave, so that means you liked it a little bit. I liked this match. I thought it was the first 5-star match of the night. There wasn't really a lot of mistakes in it. I liked the heel work that was done, and I liked just the fact that Adam Cole came off looking like a boss, taking down who is maybe, pound for pound, the toughest man in pro wrestling. Joe is a tough motherfucker right now. Always has been. Probably will be for another 5 years. We'll see what happens. We'll see where this whole storyline's going to go. Joe's still a champion. He has his belts to, walk around with. But now Cole has his own championship belt, which we'll talk about later tonight. Right after this next match between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker for now the Owen Hart Women's Finals. DMD makes her way to the ring, someone playing guitar for her entrance. I noticed that there is not a setup for the Women's Cup like they had for the men. What's up with that? What if I was triggered? What if I was offended? No, I'm not, but you should be, right? The women didn't get the same level of respect. They didn't have the cup set up. It just didn't make sense. It's the same match. Why not just keep the fucking table out there if this is your next match? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I guess they had to move it for the performers, but they should have thought about all this shit earlier. They should have put it somewhere else. It should have had its own stage, maybe. They could have did more with it. It was just really fucking strange. You can clearly see the hint that, WWE versus AEW in this match, because DMD comes out with just one performer, and then you have Ruby Soho coming out with a whole fucking band. They're going apeshit singing her song, and it's a small little jab at like the difference between AEW and WWE production value, and just in general where the company is. WWE is the big dog, the big show. AEW is the little guy trying to become the big show. So I like the hidden meaning there. Whether it was there intentionally or not, I still appreciated it. Ruby had an amazing entrance. So did DMD. Ladies both a force in women's pro wrestling, but tonight only one can be the winner. The women start off with some classic lockups and walking in the ring multiple times. Ruby was signaling for a power of strength. They lock up quickly. DMD takes control with a wrist lock, and Ruby kicks up, reverses into a wrist lock of her own. Now DMD pulling the hair a lot. Nice knee strike from Ruby, sending DMD outside. Now Ruby with a huge running drop kick to Britt from the apron, taking a super nasty bump along the way. Nice suplex to Britt from Ruby. Now ladies back in the ring. Ruby on the top rope. Britt stops that, rips Ruby down, slams her to the mat, now stumping a mud hole in the midsection of Ruby. More shots to the face from Britt. DMD won't stop ripping the hair of Ruby and giving her a very hard elbow that you could hear loud and clear. And she won't stop ripping the hair. She's just really going all out. She's ramming her midsections into the steel post, now bending and contorting her body. Ruby's was just getting abused at this point in the match. She was using the ring post as a weapon. Britt was in full control. Britt talking more trash. Jaw-jacking, as the man in the mask would say. Ladies exchanging elbows, but finally connects with a big shot that sends both ladies down. Back to their feet. Ruby avoids the curb stomp. Now a kick up and then a kick to the knee. Britt gets countered by Ruby. We get a Saito suplex. She goes to the top rope, connects with a senton. Britt kicks out. Ruby was selling the ribs really hard. She goes down for the superplex, but Britt counters into a faceplant and catches the curb stomp. Ruby kicks out at 2 3/4. Very close fall. Britt putting on the glove, signaling for the DMD. She was signaling for the lockjaw. Ruby rolls out of the ring. She goes for a clothesline. DMD turns it into the lockjaw. Ruby grabs the wrist, makes a pin, catches the no future. Ruby sweeps the legs and goes for the sharpshooter. A shitty, very shitty one-legged sharpshooter. Having big trouble applying the full pressure because apparently, I guess, her rib injury. Britt biting her hand and trying to fight through the pain. Ruby now applies the sharpshooter again. Soho DMD chants begin, and Britt ends up getting the win. Slow and stale at times. There were some good spots. Very physical, hard-hitting match. But the sharpshooter at the end dropped the grade for me. I only give it a 3-star. Martha Hawk comes out with Tony Khan to present Adam and Britt with the trophies, which I'll get into after Jay's take on this whole match and segment.
So there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Britt Baker is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of women wrestling. But now that I got that out, this match was slow paced. It was a bad match for Ruby Soho. It was a bad match for Britt Baker. They didn't deliver. I don't know if they had an off night tonight, but every time these girls get in the ring, it's magic. Tonight we didn't see that. I saw slow paced. I saw Ruby Soho with a nice Saito suplex, followed by a top rope senton. That was a good 2 count. I was really into that part. There was a part, though, that I thought Soho really injured herself when she hit the turnbuckle on her head when Britt did that front face suplex. I thought she really hurt herself there. Luckily, she didn't. Britt did a horrible stomp. It was just horrible. Horrible. I like how it ended because it kind of... First of all, I was shocked that Britt won. Even though she's my girl, I really thought they would give it to Soho because she's just that star that was getting a lot of momentum the past year. But Soho, I mean, I like how it went down. I really thought she had the victory roll, but Britt countered it, got the 1, 2, 3. This match wasn't great, though. If you really think about it, there was some spot calling by Britt. I think it was just one of those, we shit the bed on this one. So I give it a 2.5. I love the Owen Hart belts. I think they're way better than TNT and TBS belt combined. Those belts are awesome. But the men's finals was definitely better than the women's finals. That's for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that statement. 100%. It's probably one of the only things I agree with you about tonight, except also that the match was slow and stale at times. But I gave it the rating I did because at the end of the day, they still made up for some of that with some pretty hard-hitting shots. I did appreciate that elbow from DMD. And you know what? You're right. They usually do deliver better matches. But DMD still came out looking pretty strong, and I like her better after this pay-per-view than before this pay-per-view. She looks like a contender, like I said in another segment, in another show, that she reminds me of Charlotte Flair a little bit. She has that same kind of swagger. So I wouldn't mind seeing DMD climb her way up to the real Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling. Because she's not there yet. She's still too new.
I think they, don't the winners get a title shot now?
They do. Yeah,
so we'll see. There you go.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. After this, we get the match, which was probably the shittiest match of the night, the shittiest story of the fucking whole run to Double or Nothing. 3-on-3 mixed gender match, stipulation match, where if Sammy loses and Kazarian lose, they'll never be able to challenge for the TNT title ever again. Sammy was coming out to full Ric Flair gear, wearing all the gold they stole from the gym, the UFC, the BMF title. Sammy, Kazarian, Tay Conte versus Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and do you even know the name of that other girl?
Paige Van starts with a Z. I don't know.
So Paige,
her name is Paige.
We'll just say Paige. The match was a pure gimmick match. It was a hot mess. Sammy and Kazarian not getting along, which didn't even make sense because last week they're getting along. They're breaking fucking the title with a sledgehammer, and now all of a sudden they didn't really show us why, but all of a sudden tonight they're just not getting along. We got a sick cutter off the ropes by Kazarian. Sammy was just making out with Tay all over the place, and it looked pretty uncomfortable for Tay. I don't even think she was enjoying this at all. Kazarian abandoned Sammy. Tay got hit with X Factor. Sammy got hit with Scorpio Sky's finish. Beautiful little cutter. Takes the L. I gave this a 1 star. It's a joke segment. The whole match is just stupid. Now Sammy can't challenge for the title. Kazarian can't challenge for the title. I guess, Scorpio came off looking strong, right? But I don't know. What'd you think?
I think nobody came out looking strong. I think everybody came out looking like a joke. I'd rather watch a best friends segment. No offense.
That's harsh.
The only good thing in this match was Sammy with the springboard cutter. That was pretty much it. No, there was nothing special about this. I was really looking forward to Paige because I hear so much about her and everything, and that she's been practicing and training, but overall, there was just nothing really, anything remotely great about her. She had horrible forearms. They weren't even connecting to anybody's face whatsoever. Ty wasn't even getting hit by it. She can't run the ropes, literally. She only had one move, which was the Tornado DDT on Sammy. That was pretty much the only good spot that she had. Conti did a horrible move. She did some sort of type of modified face buster, and that didn't even go well. That just came off horrible. They were making out most of the time. I think the funny part was Frankie's was saying, "You stupid SOB, you stupid son of a bitch" to Sammy. But besides that, it wasn't really nothing great about this. So I wasn't even entertained from a standpoint. So I'm only giving it a star because that cutter was really nice. How he just jumped from the rope to the rope to get it. That's about it. I don't think anybody came out strong. I'm just glad that it's finally put to rest.
I mean, I enjoyed the entrance of Sammy. I enjoyed the entrance of Sammy with the Ric Flair getup. I was expecting more out of the match when I saw that, but instead we got it went in the complete opposite direction. The cutters were all looking good, which is why I gave it the star. Yeah, I don't want to see any more of this. Hopefully Scorpio Sky moves on to a much better kind of fight with somebody else worth his time. Sammy right now, I don't know the direction they're taking him. I don't like it, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
You got Dante Martin there.
Yeah, but he's going to squash Dante Martin. We know that. Dante's a squash match. Like, let's be honest.
Shit. It's sad. That's how he looked.
You think Dante's beating Scorpio right now?
No, but I think this is a prime example. Like, we have these stars that are great, and you see how you call it right away, like Dante Martin. Oh, that's a squash match. That's how we should not view. You see, like that. I wish we didn't view great talent like that. It's just sad.
I'm not saying he's not great talent. I'm just looking at it as an observer and a wrestling savant that I am, and a guru.
That's something that
I just know where Tony's mindset is for a lot of these guys on the roster. Like you said, the roster's overfilled, and unfortunately, a lot of these guys that show up to work every Wednesday night, they know that they're there to do a job, which is why the term has been always called jobber, because you're there to do a job, and that's the way it's going to be. Dante Martin's going to do that job well. Like you said, he's very talented. I'm sure he'll get a run down the line, his own little thing, but he still has ways to go. You got to remember, a lot of these guys are green. Scorpio Sky's been doing this for a while, so he deserves the run he's going to get right now with that TNT title, that new purple and gold title. So let him have his run. You know he's going to beat up some people for a while. Hopefully that ends that whole Ethan Page combo, too. I actually think Ethan Page is actually a good wrestler, too. I want to see him go on a solo run and see what he can do on the mic. We'll see. I don't know. After this, we get the match with Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. Another banger of a match. This, to me, so far, was up there with Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. It was up there for match of the night. I still go back and forth between these two matches on which was my favorite match. So far, there was one botch by Darby that stands out, but honestly, I don't even think it was a botch. I think he is that good that he wanted to create a different look on the move, and he probably maybe even just pinpointed the bounce off the move, because Darby's one of those guys that's usually so fucking precise because he's in his peak prime age right now. He'll be in his peak prime ability for the next 10 to 15 years. That's just the way he's shaping up to be. This kid doesn't even look like he gets hurt. He takes some of the craziest fucking bumps. So I was looking forward to this match because Kyle O'Reilly is one of my new favorite wrestlers. I actually have to update my top 10 wrestlers in the world list. Kyle O'Reilly's up there. I love this guy in the ring. I think he makes everything meaningful. He makes every move meaningful. I just love his work. He's so fucking impressive. From NXT till now, he was awesome in NXT too, but right now you can just see like him chipping away at what he is as a pro wrestler, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch. He's a future world champion, and I can't wait for the heel turn when he turns on Adam Cole, baby, and then they start having some banger matches. It's going to be beautiful to watch over the next couple of years. Overall, this match was fucking sick. Commentary team was also a complete mess on this match, and I mean it. It was a mess all night long. They were a mess, but tonight on this match, it really stood out. The man in the mask was calling the wrong shit, asking for replays, not getting them. Kyle and Darby were both putting on a fucking clinic wrestling match. I didn't think it was going to be a wrestling match. I thought we were going to get more high spots brawling, but no, we saw wrestling from Darby Allin. He was showing us more and more wrestling than I personally expected to see. And even Darby, when he tried to brawl with Kyle, that's where it went south. You can't brawl with Kyle O'Reilly. It's just not going to happen. Obviously, Darby doesn't have any help there because Kyle O'Reilly sent Sting to the retirement home for a little bit. But no help needed, all right? There was no help needed for Kyle O'Reilly. He didn't need his boys to come out for this match. We had a crazy diving attack from Darby and a really high-risk coffin drop to the apron and then in the ring, which was countered into a submission by Kyle. He caught that second dive, turned it into a submission. Obviously, he can't win the match outside. They just did a fantastic job tonight with all the spots, really. Oh, the only botch was that little dive. I didn't see anything else. Maybe Jay saw something. I didn't. I saw an excellent match. Like I said, Kyle O'Reilly gave every shot and every move more meaning. He was telling a story along the way, showing that he is the superior wrestler in this match. He was almost being like a bully to Darby Allin in this match, taunting him with pure wrestling ability. Not with words, not with little gestures, just taunting him with pure wrestling ability from bill to bill and making sure there's nothing Darby can do about it. What Kyle did to his mentor, there's nothing Darby's doing about it. I beat him up, I'm going to beat you up too. Kyle picks up the big win, helping the undisputed elite stay elite. 5-star performance by Kyle O'Reilly. Love the finish. Love that big knee in the back that looked like it fucking broke a rib. Loved it. What say you, Jay?
Well, I did say for the last 2 weeks, Kyle O'Reilly is the most underrated AEW wrestler they have in the whole roster. This is basically match of the night for me. Can't believe I'm even saying that, including a big main event as we had, but this was match of the night. Darby did have some botches. First of all, he just ran into a knee for the first 10, 20 seconds of the match. I don't think that was planted. I think he just ran into it. So there's a botch right there. Kyle O'Reilly's all about the submission game. So, Kyle had hooked his left arm into a suplex. I thought that was pretty unique, pretty creative. The part that Darby did that face front stunner, and then he went for that suicide dive, and instead he just slipped and just kind of went head first on the floor. Looked like he really got shaken up there. You could see Kyle kind of checking on him and the ref as well. So I honestly give props to Darby Allin for even getting up from that, because that looked really, really bad. And I guess we're still waiting for the replay, right, JR? Right, Excalibur? We're still ready for that, because that's not something you want to see again. It was really bad.
Commentary was a shit show on
Kyle had the brain buster followed by the arm bar. That was good. The only thing I can't give this 5-star match is, well, not because of the 2 botches, but just for the PKs that Kyle did. He did 3 PKs, and then he did the top row knee on the back of Darby for the 1, 2, 3, which that's his finisher, so it's understandable. But the 3 PKs, I didn't like that. It kind of reminded me of Ludwig Kaiser on SmackDown with the PKs. I don't really think it's a strong move. I don't think Kyle should even use that. So if he could just minus that, that'd be great. I didn't need to see it 3 times though. 1 time would have been enough. But this tells you everything you need to know about Kyle O'Reilly. He is a star. He's been proving it since the last match with Adam Cole and NXT until this whole 2.0 took over. Kind of just had him on the shelf, wasn't really doing much, but he's just picking off from right where he left steam with Adam Cole, and it's paying off. And I think Tony Khan needs to use this guy for more main events. It's a main event player you have here. I would not mind seeing him fight the champion. So this was a great match though, but I'm going to go as far as a 4 though. I'm not going that much higher.
All right, no problem. I love the match, though. Definitely, after reanalyzing everything, this was definitely match of the night. Kyle O'Reilly killed it. He is going to be a big superstar. He is going to get a world championship match. He is a future world champion, 100%. Next, we have a match between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. Now, if you would have watched all the trailers for this match, going up to this match, you would probably not be excited, because the promos were bad, the in-ring work was bad. Everything leading up to this was a complete fucking shit show, except maybe 1 minute of maybe Thunder Rosa's promo last week with the no face paint, maybe. But at that point, it was already so fucking shitty, it was hard to save. But somehow the match actually delivered. The women lock up and stay locked up for a while. Multiple pin attempts and a nice bridge from Serena, and Thunder Rosa jumps on the top, adding pressure to the bridge. Serena has good control of her shoulders. She has a ton of wrestling knowledge, and it is clear that when you see her on the mat doing the work, you know that she is the real deal. Thunder reverses in the pendulum, which gives her way, and Serena is selling everything really fucking well. Thunder is reversed by Serena into a pinfall, and now a kick out. Rosa with a big shoulder block. The fans chanting, "This is wrestling." That whole initial series was really good. I didn't see too many mess-ups in the beginning of the match. There were some parts of the match that got a little sloppy, but overall there was a great performance by both of these women. Like I said, Serena can't really cut a promo worth of shit, but the girl can wrestle. Overall, I think they went for too much, too fast in the beginning, and you can see that they both got a little tired. They both got a little winded because they went crazy in the beginning with those spots. Like, it was one of the best openings to a women's match I've seen in a long time. But you could see that they got a little winded, which is why I say I think they tried for too much, too fast. And you could see Serena in the corner. She gets hit hard in the turnbuckle. Thunder Rosa slamming the mat, pumping up the crowd. She was yelling before delivering a huge running elbow, and she hit a double knee stomp into Serena's chest. Rosa was feeling that the match was now shifting into her favor. Another huge drop kick to Serena. Thunder hits the Northern Light suplex, and she actually lost the grip on the way down. Serena was going for the wrench submission on the leg. Both ladies now up and down. We get a double clothesline in the middle of the ring. Aubry Edwards was really trolling hard in this match as usual. Though, in my opinion, the worst referee in professional wrestling, Aubry Edwards, always has to get too involved in every camera shot and every match, asking the wrestlers if they want to quit. Just like way too fucking obvious that she's trying way too hard to like make herself more part of the match than she needs to. I don't know why Tony loves her, but I feel like her work in the ring takes away from the wrestlers in the ring, and I don't like it. There was a really bad botch. They both rolled outside the ring and they took a hard landing. It was just really bad. There was multiple slaps. They were slapping the shit out of each other. Then they both roll outside and take a hard landing. It was a bad botch by Thunder with a dragon screw attempt. Serena with the detox, and Rosa gets her leg on the rope. Now Serena with the Serenity Lock. Rosa crawling to the ropes. Her knee has been getting worked all match long. Serena thinking about a powerbomb and plants her. Serena now with a deep cloverleaf submission. Big roundhouse kick by Rosa. Thunder Rosa charges the corner. Lands nothing. Serena goes to the top rope. Big elbow by Rosa. She climbs the rope. Slaps her knee. Goes for the superplex. Deeb now with shots on Rosa. We get a headbutt by Rosa. Now Rosa goes to the top and connects with a big superplex and rolls into the Thunder Driver. JR was already calling for the Three Amigos, but it wasn't. It just turned into, the Thunder Driver and the big pin. Thunder Rosa picks up the big win, retains the gold. Like I said, some sloppy spots, but overall a pretty great performance in the ring, showcasing what pro wrestling should look like for the most part. I'm not going to give it a 4-star, 3.5, because there was good wrestling in this match. 3.5. Good women's wrestling. I liked it. What do you say, Jay? Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna give it a 4-star.
Wow.
I'm not really gonna talk much. This whole storyline made no sense to me from the beginning. It's just to fill a void. But two women put on a wrestling match, and it was delivered in the beginning. I was interested. I like how Rosa rocked the cradle with Serena. Serena was very impressive. The powerbomb into a cloverleaf submission, that was an impressive spot. Serena also did an octopus hold submission that was unique too. She had a nice swinging neck breaker that was pretty good. It overall delivered. I didn't like Thunder Rosa's outfit. I can't give it a 5-star. Somebody looking like confetti. I hated the whole costume. Hated the whole intro. Didn't like it one bit. But overall, the match delivered on all expectations. Way better than the Britt Baker match.
Yes.
4-star.
Yeah, I know. I originally I had given it a 4-star, but because of some of the sloppiness towards the end, I had to bump it down just a little bit. But yeah, these women fucking killed it, man. You have absolutely every right in the world to call this a 4-star, even a 4.5-star match. It delivered because you did not expect anything for this match because the build-up was so fucking bad, so that when you actually got to see this match take place, if half the matches that get built up delivered like the way this one did, wrestling would be so much better. The problem is we get all these matches that get built up, and then the match is shit, the build-up is shit. In this one, the build-up was shit, but the match was fucking awesome, so it makes up for it. I appreciated it. Next, my favorite moment of the night. It wasn't my favorite match of the night because this wasn't a professional wrestling match. This was anarchy in the arena, and that's exactly what it was. Anarchy in the arena. I'm going to let you know right off the bat that this was one of the wildest things I've seen in television, on pro wrestling, at least on that kind of show. You see crazy shit like this in Japan, on pay-per-views, on deathmatch type of things. They have death wrestling, all that kind of nonsense. But here we go. Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Club. Jericho Appreciation Society, they came out wearing matching white get-ups, looking like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, maybe even 98 Degrees. But for some reason, they let the song play tonight, and they let the fans appreciate the joy of listening to this entrance live. Judas, Judas in my mind. Let me go away, Judas, Judas in my mind. Fucking goosebumps just hearing this entrance and watching Chris Jericho just soak it all in. Jericho is God. He really is. Cue the Wild Thing theme song. Mox, Santana coming out. Wild Thing playing hard. We get a shot of Daniel Bryan coming out looking absolutely jacked. His hair looks like it's getting longer. Ortiz with the war paint on. And then it made me think, poor Wheeler Yuta. He should be in this match too. I don't know what's going on with Wheeler Yuta. Hopefully we see him soon. But it would have been nice to see him in this match. It would have been awesome, actually. And now I think we're about to see some ass getting kicked. Eddie fucking Kingston coming out with a Yankee shirt, and all hell breaks loose as the JAS goes into the crowd to begin the battle, and this thing never even hits the ring. They must go in the ring to get the ring, they say, but it never hits the ring for a while. Kingston all over Jericho, and the Wild Thing song is still playing. This is actually fucking awesome. The song wouldn't stop playing. We get a chair shot from Santana and Mox and Eddie beating the crap out of Jericho, and he spills on the concrete. There's action everywhere. Mox with a suplex on the sport entertainers, and now the music continues. Wild Thing just playing over and over again on repeat. Mox with a fork digging in the face of Matt. Jericho trying to run away from Mox. While this music is playing, Jericho looks like he has a headache. Now he jammed Mox in the eyes with his sunglasses and he puts them on. This is the greatest thing I've seen in a while, man. I was loving this shit. Hager in every shot. He gets in the shot with the table, setting up Eddie. And now Menard is just bleeding. Matt Menard is bleeding everywhere like a stuffed fucking pig. Jericho trying to get away on the scooter, but Mox puts him to sleep. Menard is bleeding even more now. Eddie's also covered in blood. This is advertised as is. Complete anarchy in the ring. My God. And the song is still playing in the background. Wild Thing. You can't hear the crowd popping. You can't hear anything because Wild Thing is just... The only thing you fucking hear is Wild Thing, man. And it's actually genius. For whatever reason, whoever thought of that to let the song keep playing, they deserve a lot of credit. Because it just gave the whole match a different feeling, man. I'm not even going to call it a match. The fight. Because that's what it was. It was just a fucking fight, man. Finally in the ring, we get a double suplex on Hager from Ortiz and Santana. Now they continue to double team him in the ring for a pinfall. Eddie and Matt dropping blood all over the arena. Jericho is classic fucking gold. He goes up to the soundboard, rips that shit apart, finally ends the music. Mox now busted up everywhere. Mox with a big double axe handle smash, big powerbomb blockbuster combo to Hager through the table from Santana and Ortiz. Mox just smashed Jericho with the camera. We got a spear. Eddie and Matt now covered in ketchup and mustard. Matt is actually a good worker after watching this. Eddie now biting him. The steel stairs set up at ringside. Garcia with a pile driver off the apron to the stairs. Very nicely done. Bryan Danielson with a headbutt to Parker with the camera. Eddie and Matt taking this to another level of effort. They really fucking killed this shit. Matt and Eddie, man. Fucking shout out to you guys. You made it look really good. The fact that you both look legitimately spent, tired, exhausted, and just fucking hungry to fucking put on the show. Mox now coming ringside with Jericho and Bryan Danielson and Parker. Now Garcia went to help Matt, and he is beating the crap out of Eddie Kingston. Jericho with a snap suplex to Mox on the 3 ringside chairs. Mox throws the cooler at Jericho's head. Awesome spot. Garcia and Matt now dragging Eddie with a belt around his throat. Eddie fighting back a little bit, but Garcia still dragging Eddie with the belt wrapped around his throat. Jericho with the walls of the wizard on Mox, and the table breaks. You can't make this shit up. Now Hager and Danielson, every shot I've seen Hager is in. He's getting the shit kicked out of him. Mox bleeding like a pig, unscrewing the turnbuckle. This is getting fucking wild. Hager suplexes Danielson on the outside ramp. Eddie bleeding and stomping on Garcia. He looks lost. Moxley taking the ring apart and attacking Jericho with the iron. Now multiple low blow shots using the ring ropes. This is amazing at this point. Mox is whipping Jericho with the rope and turnbuckle. My God, fans are chanting this is awesome, and it is. Jericho with the chair shots on Mox, and now Mox grabs the chair with a counter shot. Ortiz and Santana setting up the ladder with the tables set up right next to it. Mox with a big flying knee to Jericho, and the action, the replays going on. Fans chanting, fuck him up. Santana and Ortiz climbing the ladders. Camera guys are confused where to look. I'm sure Tony is on the mic screaming, lock the ladder shot now. Ortiz and Santana with a double splash taking out the sport entertainers. Jericho with a wizard move, grabbing the fire extinguisher now to Mox's face. Most men are now done. The ref was sitting there trying to wipe Mox's eyes. Danielson and Hager down crawling. Now it's a WWE reunion in the ring. Mox, Hager, Bryan, Danielson, Jericho in the ring exchanging multiple shots, shot after shot after shot. Mox and Beatty are going to work Blackpool style with the hammer and anvil shots. Crowd chanting yes. Hager selling well. Jericho may even be dead. And now the double submission. This should be done. Eddie now coming to the ring looking like a zombie with a can of gasoline. He pours it on Jericho and Bryan Danielson. Eddie goes to get the match, and Bryan Danielson looks at him and says, what the fuck are you doing? He stops him, slaps him. The match gets out of control. Eddie then attacks Bryan Danielson. Mox speared in non-stop spot after spot after spot of just pure fucking wild adrenaline. It was great. It was great. Now Hager and Jericho are just beating him up. They're beating him up. Bryan fighting back, getting shots on both. Crowd yanting, yes. Now the big kicks, yes, 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 yes. Huge forearm to Hager. Berserker knee to Hager. A berserker knee to Jericho, who's holding the chair to his face. And now some way, somehow, Jericho kicks out like the god he is. Danielson, this is our largest audience ever to watch AEW live on pay-per-view. They announced this during this match. Daniel Bryan yells, now I'm gonna kick his fucking head off. Hager in with the bat, attacking Bryan Danielson hard. This is good shit, Vince. I hope you're watching this. Jericho with a wall of Jericho and Hager using the ring ropes to strangle Bryan Danielson. He's out. He's fucking out. Jericho Appreciation Society picks up the fucking win for over 11 weeks. The best in sports entertainment. Jericho Appreciation Society. This was a 2-star wrestling match. 5-star sports entertainment match. 5-star sports entertainment match. It was fucking awesome. I love this shit. It was 100 times better than what I thought it was going to be. Jay, what did you think?
There's no rating for me. This wasn't a match. You said it yourself from the beginning. There's no rating. This was a shit show. I wish I didn't see this. I think this comes in second. First is definitely a lead and delete match. I wish that never happened ever. This is another embarrassment. Nothing really special here, just to show you that Chris Jericho is indeed old. He's worn out. Moxley throwing him through chairs on the crowd, and Jericho didn't even take that. He didn't even sell that. He just kind of just lay there. You could also see another botch when they're trying to use a cart, Jericho and Moxley, and Moxley couldn't even turn it on, and Jericho was, I wish they didn't have that on camera, was trying to turn it on for Moxley. Meanwhile, he's the one getting beat up. That made no sense. That was a fucking joke right there. Like you said, there was a lot of high spots. You know, Santana Ortiz You know, they did the blockbuster through the tables on Hager. The Walls of Jericho that he did on the table, that was so horrible. Why is there barbed wire on a board underneath the mat?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I do not know. It's that crazy. It's just stupid to me. It's just real stupid to me. Santana Ortiz kind of just risked themselves climbing up that ladder and jumping on those tables. Yeah, it's a good spot, but was it necessary? I don't think so. That guy, Matt, from JAS, he really took the beating. He was kind of the one that kind of stand out, but I didn't really see much from him either. So I can't even say he's
the beating.
Great
the beating was the performance, like you said. He
it's
did
just,
stand out. He did.
It's just you know what it is? It's just the blood. The blood looks good on him. So when it looks good on someone, you're like, holy crap, this guy's the star. But overall, not even Bryan Danielson was a star here. Nothing special about him. I hate when Moxley always matches always jumpstart from the outside, but it was well expected by me. Stupid for him to take apart the ring. I thought that was just a waste. I don't know if it's just to fill in voids. I figured JS would take the win. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't see Regal here. That was kind of just weird because the whole time Regal was part of this and he's just not there, period. I don't get that. Wheeler Yuta's in New Japan and that Japan, Super Cup, so that's well expected, but I'm glad he wasn't part of this shit show. It's a no rating for me. I'm not entertained by this whatsoever.
Well, Jay, your new nickname for this show is the Grinch who stole Double or Nothing, because I can't believe this show didn't entertain you. I thought this was a brilliant performance by these 10 idiots. I was expecting a complete shit show, and instead I laughed. I was laughing during this match. When Wild Thing kept playing, the facials that Jericho was making, him putting on the glasses, like, it was just entertaining to watch. I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was a gimmick match. It wasn't a wrestling match, but for what it was better than the Stampede fucking battle they had last year. It was better than that. Will you at least say that?
It's in the same part.
No, but was it better, though? Was it more entertaining? No? Well, like I said, the Grinch that stole fucking Double or Nothing, right here. Whatever, man. It was fun. We're going to get into the next match right now, which was the Triple Threat Tag Team match. And at this point, I kept saying to myself, how many more matches is there? This shit's never going to end. Triple Threat Tag Team match for the Tag Team World Championship. Team Taz, Hobbs, and Ricky Starks come into the ring, followed by Keith Lee and Swerve, and now come out the Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with Christian Cage. The champs got smaller pyro than Keith and Swerve, which I thought was a scary sign. I was like, oh, they're going to lose. Look at that shit. Hobbs and Starks grab the titles before the match starts, which I thought was a nice touch. Like the last match, the action in this one is all over the place. Best spot I saw in this match was Keith Lee grab Jungle Boy in midair and powerbomb twice on the back of Luchasaurus. Now back in the ring with things settled down. The team takes control of Jungle Boy. Ricky showboating really hard. Christian's face on this was incredible. Like, Ricky was just showboating in the ring. And then they zoomed in on Christian's face, and he just like that. He like had this look that just, if you're a fan of wrestling and you know Christian's work, you appreciate that look from Christian during that fucking whole shot. Starks was doing the old school with a little extra spicy taunt. Very impressive agility and athleticism by Ricky Starks. It was also dumb at the same time. Jungle Boy makes him land on his nuts, and now we get a blind tag from Swerve, and it's Swerve and Hobbs in the ring. Nice running forearm from Swerve, finally sending Hobbs to the mat. There was a nice diving uppercut kick to the face to swept up Luchasaurus. Swerve off the chest of Keith Lee with the moonsault. Ricky Starks taking a hard fall. You could see Lucha checking on him. Swerve with a lot of rolling around on Hobbs. He tried to stop it, leading to a big counter from Swerve and a drop kick and a pinfall attempt. Keith coming in, and he just picks up Hobbs to his shoulder, backs up into the corner, and now Swerve gets taken down big time from Hobbs with a big belly-to-belly suplex to Swerve. Hobbs showing incredible skill on the top rope for a big man. Luchasaurus comes in, cleaning house. Hot tag was made. He's abusing Team Taz. Swerve with a huge double clothesline on Team Taz. Pop-up taunt. Hobbs getting to his feet. Lucha with a grip around the throat. Hobbs breaks it. Lucha with a big kick to Hobbs. Keith Lee with a blind tag to Hobbs. Says motherfucker as he walks out. All three men in the ring looking at each other. All start exchanging shots. Lucha goes for the double choke slam, and then Hobbs and Lee double choke slam Lucha. Now Hobbs and Lee walk the ring. Standoff, shots exchange. Lee tosses Hobbs over the top rope, lands hard. Now Lee setting up to dive to the outside. He goes flying very well. Brody King should be taking notes because that's how it's done by someone that's bigger than you. Now Lee rolls in the ring. Lucha's out cold. Bask in his glory. The crowd's getting ready to chant. Big botch by Lucha. He almost broke Keith Lee's leg. Jesus Christ, Lucha, he could not hold Keith Lee up. He is just too big. Now, Lee and Lucha exchanging shots. Jungle Boy tags in, gets 3 big shots on Ricky Starks. Ricky goes for the pin, and Christian helps and makes the save. Jungle Boy with a huge running shot to the outside. Starks with a huge spear to Jungle Boy. Kick out at 2. Ricky with a big face buster. Lucha breaks the pin. Now, Lucha kicks the shit out of Ricky. Swerve with a blind tag. Hobbs with the spine buster. Swerve with the swerve stomp. Looked like the Mario drop kick to me. Jungle Boy down. Lucha kicks Jungle Boy in the face after Swerve dodges. Now Lee and Swerve with the big power bomb and Swerve stomp, and Hobbs breaks it up and keeps the match alive. Ricky Starks with the belt, but Cage with the save again. Swerve with the big kick to Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy rolls out of the way. Lucha comes in and they get the finish and they get the win. A little sloppy, but Christian maintained his loyalty and helped them secure the win. They walked in and walked out your tag team champions of the world. Some mistakes were made, but overall a fast-paced, good action-filled match. Hard to follow after some of the matches we saw tonight. I give it a 3-star. What about you,
What's
Jay?
special about this match, like I said, when you have more than 2 teams, it just becomes ugly, and that's what we just seen here. Couple nice spots. Hobbs and Lee did the chokeslam on Luchasaurus. Swerve did the climb up on Keith Lee's chest into the moonsault on the outside. Keith Lee catches Jungle Boy, and then for the suicide dive, but then power bombs on Luchasaurus' back. So there were some good spots in this match. The Jurassic Express finish looked horrible. I don't know if it's just the way Swerve landed on that. I think he just was a little too much over, and I think Jungle Boy just barely caught him. I don't think he was going to catch him, but he somehow tried to catch it, but it was just bad. I've seen better matches. I'm very shocked at how this played out. I'm shocked at who won. I'm shocked that Christian didn't turn heel. Maybe they're saving it for the next big pay-per-view coming up. But
They must be selling merch.
It's not. It's just doesn't make sense. I didn't understand the finish. I'm still confused by it. I'm still confused by Christian because it didn't make sense for him to be out there throughout the whole match. That's another confusion. Why have the guy out there the whole match if you're not going to make him turn heel or be a factor in it? It was just a waste. But I just hate the whole thing. It's, Ricky Starks looked great. I like the dancing catwalk, while he had Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy tripped him and he landed in the ropes.
Yeah.
So it was some good things, but there was some sloppy things. So I'm going to just go 2.5.
I don't blame you, man. It was a surprise to me, too, that they won. But I was like, oh, shit, maybe that's a sign of things to come. The champs retain. Maybe Hangman will retain. Obviously, this whole thing played out in a different way. And what we saw tonight was who sells merch retains. So obviously, Jungle Express is selling merch. They're selling toys. They're selling shirts. That's why they retained. Just like the next man I'm going to talk about got his win and title. The next match of the night, the main event of the night, CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page for the World Heavyweight Championship. The stare down starts. They walk real slow towards the center to have the face-off. This is for the biggest title in the world. Best in the world versus best in the world. Punk with the shove after butting heads. Butting heads again. Page shoves Punk. Now they lock up. Punk rides Page into the ropes. CM Punk, let's go, Hangman. Crowd seems split in the beginning. Now Hangman Adam Page puts Punk in the corner. Grinds his elbows into Hangman. We get a big chop from Punk. Hangman smiles. How they lock up is telling a good story in the beginning. Now the men exchange chops and Hangman is lighting Punk up. Punk now snatches Hangman in a headlock and a knee to the midsection. Men lock up again in the middle. Punk takes control with a headlock. Push off by Hangman and a huge shot. Now Punk gets in a headlock. Push off from Adam Page with a huge chop to Punk. He starts chipping away at him. Men were exchanging some heavy chops. Hangman seemed to be hitting a little harder than Punk, though, for sure, in the beginning. No doubt about it. Now Punk takes Page to the corner, and he was kicking at the knee of Hangman, and Punk now taking some control of this match. Snapmare into the cover, now Punk with a hammerlock, keeping Page at bay. Hangman is calling all the spots from what I've seen so far to this point in the match. Page backs up Punk to the corner, and the ref goes to break it up, but instead Hangman gets a nasty elbow strike and stops Punk with some nice boot shots. Now Hangman grabbing Punk up, delivers 3 huge chops. Punk delivers 2 chops, and then 1 chop to the back. Punk calls the spot for Hangman to take a hard bump from the Irish whip to the turnbuckle. Punk now Irish whips Hangman, connects with a big shot and lands a Russian leg sweep. Fans chanting CM Punk. Punk with a body slam now. Crowd chanting cowboy shit now. Punk goes to the top rope, flying crossbody from Punk. Page rolls into a fallaway slam and a kick up to some boos all of a sudden. From cowboy shit to boos. Very strange crowd tonight. Fans not happy with Hangman with a running shot off the turnbuckle to Punk on the apron. Hangman with a running diving attack to the outside. You can hear fans saying, Hangman, you suck. Page now diving Punk into the barricade and grinding Punk's face into the steel staircase. Page rolls Punk in and taunts the crowd on the apron, soaking it all in. He is wasting some serious time, but now he is in the ring locking in on CM Punk. Both men exchange several shots. Page with a huge rolling elbow on CM Punk. That should have been a cover. Page now asking for the boos from the crowd. Big chop from Page to Punk. Page now with a wrist lock into a hard Irish whip. Punk counters, but Page with a big clothesline goes for the buckshot lariat position. Amping up the crowd, waiting for Punk. Punk slowly gets up, but lunges at Page to stop the buckshot attempt. Punk charges Page. Page gets the pop-up powerbomb on the ring apron, which was a nice spot. Flying lariat by Hangman to Punk. A kick out at 2 by Punk. Hangman chucks Punk to the outside again. Looks like he has a big disdain for Punk and wants to make him suffer tonight. Page going to the top rope again. Punk counters, climbs up, attacks Page with 3 shots, and he goes for a superplex, but they botch the shit out of it. They still go for it. They land it, but the botch was nasty enough to be remembered. Punk rushed the shit out of that, and now both men exchanging shots. Punk gets the best of it and gets the leg drop. A nice running knee and a bulldog. Vintage Punk right here. Punk now gets the springboard clothesline. Fans now booing Punk. This thing was going back and forth. We had fans booing, cheering. It was all over the place fan-wise. Punk thinking sharpshooter. Page counters. Punk goes for the GTS. Dodge by Page. And CM Punk lands the spinning neckbreaker. CM Punk chants start as Punk takes to the top rope. And Page with another big shot, sending Punk to the outside. Page climbing the top rope. Goes for the Army Horror moonsault. Page picking up Punk and taking him into the ring. Don't like how the ref even started to count 1 after they were outside for 20 seconds already. Not a good look. Page looking for the buckshot lariat again. Again, Punk counters into a sharpshooter. Fans are booing, some are cheering. Punk goes for the buckshot. Fucks up nasty. Page goes for the GTS. Punk turns it into a sharpshooter. Punk lands the shittiest buckshot lariat I've ever seen. He has not perfected this move, of course, as of yet. Punk's knee looks like it's done to me. It's time to maybe retire. He can't keep up with Page, and it's clearly obvious that this match is 20 years too late. The fans were actually booing the shit out of him at this point. Punk does the GTS sign. Punk goes for the GTS. Page counters. Hangman goes for the GTS. Punk counters. Punk goes for the rushing knee. Hangman counters it and lands a dead-eye kick. Kick out at 2. Page does the GTS taunt. Fans boo. Page goes for the GTS. Punk holds onto the ropes. Punk with a big roundhouse kick. Lands the GTS on Punk. And Punk kicks out. The spot calling from Punk at the end right here on TV was so bad. Both men exchanging kicks and shots. Punk going for the kicks to the legs, the forearms. Just bad. Forearm shot to the back and then back and forth. Hitting the ropes. Catches the big boo from Page. Page goes for the buckshot. Page counters, lands the lariat. Ref gets knocked out during all this. Page grabs the belt. tells Punk to get up, you son of a bitch, with the title belt in his hand, holding it in his hands. He's getting ready to nail Punk with this, but all of a sudden he has a change of heart. He doesn't want to do it. He puts the belt down. He gets back in buckshot position. Punk with the counter and the GTS, and he gets the win and becomes your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I gave this a 2.99 stars. Not good enough to be a 3, but it was still good effort by both men. We got a new champion, which was the obvious choice, because like I mentioned earlier, we saw it with Jungle Boy, and I should have saw it coming. I knew Punk was going to win, but I wanted Hangman to win. I was cheering for Hangman in this, because I thought Hangman beating Punk would have a longer term effect on his career, as opposed to what we saw. Page still goes down looking good, because he didn't try to cheat. He put the belt down, which got him over a little bit with the fans. So he still goes down looking like a stud, and he is a young man, and he's got a lot of years left in this business to have title runs yet again. And maybe on the next title run, he'll have Jay's approval. He'll be better on the mic, cut better promos, and give us even better matches. Punk has to win this match, because this is a must-win situation for Punk. We don't know how many years Punk has left. Shit, he might even be injured right now after this match. So I understand why Tony had to pull the trigger on this, man. You got CM Punk right now. He's giving you matches right now. You got to put the strap on him. He's selling merch. He's putting butts in seats. It's going to bring attention from the media. Everybody's going to cover this shit, including ESPN. You're going to get fans chanting CM Punk at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown just like you did. Smart move by Tony Khan. This was probably the smartest booking he's had in a while, because for financial benefit, it makes sense. But let's be clear. The only reason CM Punk won the title is for financial benefit and to just make the name get out there more. Punk has that star power, so you got to use it while he still has. Jay, what are your thoughts on this main event? And you give me your grade on the match and the pay-per-view, please.
Well, it's about time everybody starts listening to me. So whoever won money, you're welcome. I've been saying this forever for the last month. Adam Page is the dullest champion that we have ever had. His promos are dull, and he can't put asses to seat. He's right there, second place, number 1, Kevin Nash, WWF. Look it up. Lowest box office champion we ever had. This is another box office champion we have ever had. It had to go to the right choice, the CM Punk, like you said. Sells merch, he put asses to seat. If CM Punk was fighting in my state and I never seen him before and I heard about him, I would definitely want to go. So it makes sense. But like somebody on the train said, hey, that's a nice shirt you got there. Thanks. What you thought about the match? The match was the worst match that I've seen in the CM Punk match. This match was horrible. It started off great. A lot of stare down, a lot of taunting. Just basically a couple body slams by Punk, getting the crowd a little bit of hype. You know, Hangman did a crossbody to Punk on the outside. Hangman had a powerbomb on Punk on the ring apron, followed by a top rope flying lariat for a 2 count. So the match started where it needed to be, but then it just kind of trickled down, and it started for me when the superplex came off bad, and CM Punk just kind of lost it. And he did it so fast to regain it, but it was already too late. We already chanted, "You fuck up." So that was the first fuck up of the night. Second fuck up of the night was the buckshot lariat. I don't understand. He did it so perfectly in front of our face in Long Island, and tonight he just basically botched it. He even tried to lunge his arm to just try to at least make some sort of contact. Luckily, Page moved a little bit up front to try to sell it. That was a botch right there. I can't believe we're even talking about the next botch, because he did the same thing again. I guess he wanted to redeem himself, and it just made it even more worse. To me, the match just started losing everything from there. It tried to pick up some momentum. You know, once he tripped on that basically buckshot lariat, you know, Hangman did the powerbomb into the Deadeye. It's a close 2 count. I really thought it was over there. I thought that would be the end of the match, but it wasn't. So Punk kind of came at it, came back. finally hit the GTS. Once Hangman thought he was going to cheat, I figured he wasn't going to cheat. That's not his style. That's not his gimmick. But it basically cost him. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to talk about Wednesday, but it had to go to the right choice. I've been telling you guys, been telling Dave since the longest. It's not about, how good of a worker or great. We all know Paige is a great worker. He showed it to us tonight, but unfortunately he had the wrong partner in CM Punk. I don't think these two were meshing really well. CM Punk looked really slow in this match. Looked out of it, especially with his fuck-ups, but he just really looked out of it in general. Not as much as Jeff Hardy just sitting in a corner turnbuckle for 5-10 minutes of the match, but he's close there. It wasn't the strongest match I've seen in the CM Punk match, even from his other promotions, from Ring of Honor to WWE and now to this. This is probably one of the weakest match I've seen. I give it a 1 star. I can't even believe I'm saying this, even when we have a new champ, and I'm thrilled that he's the champ, because I had to go to him, but this is just a 1 star. I really think you should the bet on this. And for him, I did see some calling spots from him. I know you said Hangman, which I seen, but
in the beginning.
Call some spots.
Oh yeah, towards the end.
Did call some spots as well. So it's too obvious, but it wasn't that obvious. I just think the botches really didn't help Punk, and he really looked slow. And like you said, I think we spoken about it live, that you were like, yeah, he looks slow. This guy looks like an old man. He really did look like an old man there. But it had to go to that choice. And I know I had a whole theory about it. This was the chain reaction. I did say that MJF would take it off, but let's just see how it plays out. For now, I'll take it. Floppy match. Paige did everything he could, but it just wasn't enough. 1 star for me. Overall, the show, it was really disappointing. First of all, there was too many matches on the card that were unnecessary. I could live without Hookhausen. I could live without Jericho Appreciation Society. I think that's the type of match we should see on Dynamite, actually, not on a pay-per-view. Anna Jade and Jade Cargill, I could live without. There was no storyline behind that. Just a couple things I would have done. I can't give this a 3 star or even above it, but I'll give it 2.5 because Adam Cole, Samoa Joe did have a great match, but also Kyle O'Reilly did impress. He did impress me, and give it to Darby Allin. The man got freaking hurt with a knee, and then he just really hit his head hard on the floor, and he still delivered that match with Kyle. So you got to give props to that, and that was match of the night for me, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But it was just too many cards, too long of a pay-per-view. The main event was just, it started off great, and it just led into disappointment after 15 minutes. I was very disappointed in that. I was more disappointed in the MJF, but I didn't think it would be a squash match like that. But 2.5. And I don't really do that for AEW pay-per-views, but I don't know. There was just too much botches, too many matches that were unnecessary, and that's as much as I go on this.
There was definitely some botch fest moments in the night, especially the Anna Jade sticking out, Brody King with the cannonball, CM Punk with the 2 unnecessary buckshot lariats, and I think that's the main reason you saw the difference between when we saw him in Long Island and then tonight, because on Long Island he was only wrestling for a few minutes, so he had the energy to deliver that move with efficiency. Last night, he was already wrestling for probably 27, 30 minutes by the time he even went for that. So you could clearly see that it's over, bro. He is not that guy anymore. He cannot go the way Hangman goes for 30, 40, 50 minutes. It's not happening. Punk isn't giving you an Iron Man match anymore. So that's why I said they had, like you even said, you called it, they're going to put the strap on him. But that's why they put the strap on him, because he's putting butts in seats, he's selling merch, and the time, like he said, the time is now. The time isn't a year from now. As much as I'd like it to be, and I feel like it could have been a better storyline, Tony Khan can't wait around for a storyline when you have a guy that's this popular, still wrestling. We have to give him the belt now. He has to have a run now, because we don't know if he's going to be here in a year. He might be done in a year. We don't know. So, with all that being said, The match definitely disappointed a little bit because of some of those botches, because we have such high esteem for CM Punk and we love him. He's one of our favorite wrestlers, so you don't want to see him go out like that. But it was still nice at the end of the day to just see him hold the title again. He's been through a lot. He's had a long road to get here. It's not like he hasn't put in the work or paid his fucking dues a long time ago. After that whole UFC debacle, coming back to AEW, getting the big return, it was still nice to see the gold on his chest no matter how he got there. The show was fun for me overall. I think I had more fun than you did, which is why I'm giving it a 4-star, because at the end of the day, people that paid for this, I hope they enjoyed it. We got overloaded card. I felt like they added too many matches last couple of weeks just to add matches with no substance, no storytelling. I feel like FTR should have had a card. On this spot on the card. They could have delivered a way better program than what we saw from Hookhausen and what we saw from Anna Jay. There was a lot of unneeded matches on this card that didn't need to be on the fucking main show. But again, this is supposed to be like their WrestleMania, so I guess 4 hours is still better than 7.5. I'll take it. I had fun. I had a good time. Doing the show.
Could be split into 2.
Absolutely, but it is what it is. It was what it was. As far as success goes, it was the most successful AEW pay-per-view in history. So it did its job. It delivered as far as like surpassing expectations.
And we all know why.
Absolutely, because CM Punk is your new AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and we'll see where this goes. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to challenge him first for the title. Let's just do that real quick. Who do you think's going to challenge him for the title first? Hangman again, or maybe Adam Cole, Hobbs?
I don't know. It's gonna probably be some mid people, but if I were to say who would be his first legit and probably take the strap off, if I had to say, I mean, I always had it towards MGF, but it could change. If it were to change like this, it would be Wardlow would be the real contender for the belt. Take it off Punk, and then MJF takes it off Wardlow.
Yeah, but you have Adam Cole in the mix too, because he won that Owen Hart, so he's in the mix.
See, that's the thing. I don't know how, because we see Adam Cole had a title match before twice, and look how they used it. That's why I can't even put him in the mix, because they might waste it again. I hope they don't, but I don't know. I gotta see.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They wasted it before, I don't know.
I agree with you. Match of the night for this was Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. You should definitely go back and watch that match. The Joe match versus Adam Cole was also very good. Overall, it was a fun show. I had fun doing this with Jay. This was Double or Nothing. We bring you the results live. We are going to be back tomorrow night for NXT, I believe. So we'll bring you the recap on NXT 2.0. And we're going to give you our predictions / spoilers for NXT In Your House, which will be this Saturday. And we'll be doing the coverage for that on next week's NXT. Until tomorrow night, guys, everybody, go to sleep. Have a good night, sweet dreams, and get ready for NXT Dynamite coming up on Wednesday night. Should be nice. Post Dynamite after their biggest pay-per-view. Who's coming out first? CM Punk?
It makes perfect sense if he comes out. Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we get some new storylines. And MJF, get well, and great work over the last 2 years, buddy. You deserve a little break. Great work, man. And tell your mom we said hi, especially Jay.
Again.
We're going to get your mom on the show, MJF. Your mom and your dad.
I think I could get her on the show.
Next time we see them in the parking lot, we're getting your mom on the show, and we're going to ask her some hard-hitting questions, MJF. And hopefully that leads to getting you on the show one day. Because you're the man, and great job over the last 3 years. You're the reason why AEW is where it's at. You're the reason why a lot of this is happening right now. You're putting butts in seats. You're putting up great promos. So just keep it up when you come back. And, that's all I got to say about MJF, man. Tony Khan, you're not the worst booker in the world. You're getting better every month. And, I'm defending Tony a little bit. But you can see
better.
He is exactly what Jay says he is. He is the ultimate fanboy, and that's why you see Punk with a title right now, because Tony Khan loves that shit. And we'll see you guys later, man. This is Wrestling with Savage, and CM Punk is your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. We're going to change our top 10 list, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Later, Jay.
Night.
This is Wrestling with Savage SmackDown. Hold the title.